Okay, so I think I'm live and welcome everybody again to this particular session, which is the 19th session of our front-end development. And in this session, we are just talking about text and font of CSS. So we are going to understand, how this text properties and what are the different text properties and font properties which we can use in our CSS, right? 8 p.m. I took one session which was on color and background, and I think most of the people have joined and have learned how to use color properties and background properties. And in this session, we are going to understand the text and font properties. Okay. If you are new to this particular session, and if you don't know what is going on, so let me tell you what is this. This is basically a playlist which we are creating for free, and we are providing content for free so that you can understand and gain knowledge and upskill yourself in the front end development part. Okay, so by mid of November we have planned to cover HTML, CSS and JavaScript so that you get an understanding of what are these languages and how do we use these languages to create a web page, right? And then later on we are going to plan it for frameworks and libraries, and we are going to understand how to use that also starting from mid of November. Okay, that is the plan. Until now, I have covered a lot of things in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And the timings for JavaScript is 4 to 5 in the evening every day, and 8 to 10 p.m. HTML and CSS goes on, right? So normally this session starts from 9:15 to 10:15. I've started it 3 minutes late because I ended the previous stream a little bit late, right? So don't worry about that. And if you don't know about me, so my name is Ritwik Raj and I'm a corporate trainer. I also worked as a content strategist, research analyst, and a subject matter expert in many of the edtech companies. It's been 3 years that I'm teaching young graduates and corporate employees about programming languages. And I've also trained more than 25K students till now, and it's been increasing day by day. The subjects which I take is mostly into front-end development, back-end languages, database, and mostly into full-stack development. And I also take some guidelines, some tips and tricks to crack interview as well. So this is all about me. Now, if you want to take Unacademy Plus subscription, then what you have to do is you have to use my coupon to avail 10% off, right? Now, if you're not planning to take any Unacademy Plus subscription, then you have to, and you need to understand the benefits of it. And if your relatives or any of your friend is taking this Unacademy Plus subscription, then go ahead and use my coupon to avail 10% off. Okay, so my coupon code is RIT10 and you can get 10% off in this. Fine. I'll just wait for some more time to see if anybody else is joining, and let the viewers also join. Let your friends and relatives and all your fellow mates know about this session. Tell them that this session is going on, and we are starting with this session. Okay. Perfect. So as soon as you guys are joining, let me tell you about one of the product of ours, which is Relevel. So this is Relevel by Unacademy. Now, what is this product here doing and why I'm introducing it to you? Let's understand that. Now, basically, many of the candidates are from Tier 3 college, or they're having BSc degree or BA degree, and they want to move into IT field, right? But because of their degree or because of their college, many of the MNC companies and IT companies are not referring and are not seeing your resume also. You have applied 50, 60 companies, but you are not getting a response from those companies, right? So your resume is not standing out with those 100 others applying for the same startup or for the same company, right? The reason can be anything. The reason can be maybe you don't have a better degree, or maybe the college is not that good where you have graduated. There can be reasons, any reasons, right? But by Relevel, what we are doing is we are making sure that we are giving you a job by a basis of your skill and talent, and not because of your degree or whatever you have done in your past, right? So it is India's first test hiring platform by Unacademy, which is helping job seekers find their dream jobs. Okay. Now, what will happen if you register here? So basically, there are some benefits which you'll get. Over 50 plus companies, including some top startups and unicorns, are there with us. Those are clients. And what you have to do is you have to just give a free test, and you have to choose your own slot, your own time when you want to give the test. Once you give the test, if you score more than 700, then you are good to go, and you can, we will create one profile for you, and that profile will be shared with most of the client companies of us. And suppose if you did not get more than 700 marks and you are just below it, then you will get 30 days to reattempt the test. So after 30 days, you can reattempt the test for free, and that's how it will happen. Okay. So with Relevel, what is happening? You are in a unique position to invite interest from companies instead of hunting for opportunities on your own. So we are there to help you out, right? So there are 1,000+ job positions across business development, front-end development, back-end development. And if you want to register yourself in this Relevel, what you have to do is you have to click on the link which is given in the description below, right? So if you can find the link of Relevel, click on it and go ahead, see what is it, click on register, and then choose your test which you want to give. You want to give business development, front-end development, back-end development, choose that date, choose the time, and create a neat video resume for yourself, and then click on submit. So this is the only thing which you have to do, and you will be registered, and you have to just appear for the exam. Now suppose that you are not ready for the exam and you want to upskill yourself, then all the playlist is going on in this channel. You can see backend development, full stack development, front-end development, and then DSA, Python, everything is going on. You have to just watch the live sessions, you have to just watch the videos and upskill yourself. Once you're done, go ahead and register in the level and give the test. So many of the students have already done this, and they are they are getting all the benefits. So we have a Telegram channel as well, so you can go and click on this channel and you can join the channel so that you get an update of all the notifications, whichever live session is coming live and when it is coming, all those notifications you'll get. Okay, hi Lucifer, sorry. So are you going to teach Angular or React for front end? See, my plan is to teach Angular first and then React, because Angular being the most old one and the most complicated one, let's first understand how Angular works, and maybe then we will start React. Okay, it will be easy for you to then understand React. I know React is really very easy to understand and nobody goes for Angular, but if you have understanding of Angular, then you will get more job opportunities, right? So yes, but we are not sure which one we'll cover. Maybe I'll give you an idea about it by November. Maybe in some of the live session I'll be confirmed about it, and then I can tell you that whether we'll be covering Angular or not. But React, yes, it will be there. So we are in our this session in which we are going to cover two things. First of all, it's text properties and the font properties in CSS. So just the way how we have seen the color properties and background properties, now we will understand some text properties and font properties, right? So let's start, and this session will be a little bit long, maybe like 10:20 or 10:25. So bear with me, okay? Because you're going to learn a lot of things here. So let's start. Let me open my Visual Studio Code first of all, right? And also let me open my Chrome, but not now, because I'm not going to use this one particular page. I'm going to create another page. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to my folder. I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to just write here text.html. Okay, or text and font.html, right? So in this one, what we are going to do is we are going to create an HTML skeleton. I'm going to just hide this. I'm going to just bring it here. Okay. So the title is already, okay, title is not written. So I'm going to just write here, understanding text and font properties. Okay, this is my title. And in the body, I'm just going to write here H1. I'm going to just write welcome back. Let's understand text and font properties. Cool. So this is the H1 which I'm using here, and I'm going to put it in the live server. So this is my live server in which my output is coming, and it is showing me. I'll just put it here. Let me do the arrangement. Very nice. 1 second. Okay. So this is my server in which this particular, H1 is showing me, right? So let's understand one by one what all things we are going to understand here. Okay. Now, let's say that I have a paragraph. Okay. And I'm just going to write here, my name is Ritwik. Just a simple text, right? Cool. Now, when I'm doing this, there is a property which is text align, and I think most of you know about this, right? I'm using style here, and I'm using here text align. Okay. Now understand that we are learning text properties, and you can see here that with text you have so many properties: decoration, transform, overflow, shadow, indent, rendering. There are so many things here, right? So we are going to understand the most important ones. Let's understand the text align first, and you have some properties here, right? So if I put here center, the text will come in the center. If I put here right, the text will come to the right. Left is the by default thing, so it's gonna be on the left, right? So let me first show you the center. I've saved this, and let me open my let me close this, let me open this. Yeah, so center, you can see the paragraph is in the center, right? Okay. If I go back and if I do it in the another manner, let's keep it like this so that you can see the and observe the output. So if I put it here, like let's say right, so it's gonna go to right. You can see behind also, right? It's there, the output, right? Now the thing is, there is one property which is justify. Okay. But many of the times fresher does get get confused that what is this justify. So if I write here, let's say left, right? When I say left, what is happening? The text is on the left, right? Let's increase the paragraph. So let's go to Facebook wiki, and let's copy one of the paragraph from here. Okay. And then we'll try to see how this paragraph gets affected in a bigger picture. So let's say that this is one of the paragraph which I'm copying till here. Okay, till here. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back. Let me change this, my name is Ritwik, to that paragraph. Cool. I hope I'm live. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is my paragraph. No need, you don't have to see the whole paragraph. That's fine. It's written there. Now, what I want is, I've written left here, right? Let's make it right. And you can see the difference. How is it different? Okay, just have a look. Can you see the difference? Right? So it's starting from right itself. Okay, it's starting from right itself. Now, if I write here center, what's gonna happen? You can see the text is in the center. It's not even starting from the left. It's not even starting from the right. It's just in the center, right? And the text is also in the center. Okay. Now, if I write here justify, so now let's see what will happen. Can you see here what is happening? I'm not going to increase this web browser. I'm not going to stretch it. Just have a look here itself. Can you see how equally it is distributed? Have you seen this kind of paragraphs anywhere in your whole career? You must have seen it in MS Word. If you are creating one document, in document you have some text alignment properties: left, right, center, justify. So justify is what? Even if my screen is this much, the text pattern is not changing. It is making my paragraph compatible to any size of screen. Correct? So it's not leaving any spaces anywhere. Even my screen is this much big, then also it is showing me a appropriate paragraph. Normally, every paragraph, whenever in web pages they write a paragraph, they always write text align justify. So this is the most commonly used property. Okay, because in justify everything is very properly written. Okay, so that's what is justify. This was our very first what to say, the very first property of text. Okay, so let's move ahead. Let's write something else and let's understand what is going to happen. Okay, So I'll remove this justify, right? And I'll just write here a class. Let's say the class name is sample. Okay. I'm going to create one internal CSS, right? And in this CSS, I'm going to give something. So I have written class. That means I have to write dot sample. I have to give something here, right? So let's say that I'm giving here direction. Now you must be knowing what is direction, right? If I give here RTL and if I save this, you can see the direction is now right. Okay. This is the another way of using text align right. Okay. You can use text align right, or else you can use RTL in the direction. That's also gonna give you the text align right. Okay. Let's do something. What I'm going to use here is I'm going to use another property, which is basically a BDI. Okay, what is this? BDO, you must have heard the BDO tag, bidirectional override. So I'm going to use this kind of Unicode BD. Okay, now what is this? This will make your whatever sentence you have written bidirectional. Okay, so let's understand what is happening. See, if you look at this, you will never understand what is this, right? But if you think about a line, so you can see it's ulta. Facebook can be accessed from, right? That is how it is written. So it's ulta. It's totally the opposite. Okay. And that's what is Unicode BDI, which is bidirectional override. Okay. If you don't want to use this, what you can do? You can do BDO. That's actually the tag, right? I think I have explained you this already. So these were the things which I wanted to show you here with respect to the direction. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's once again, sorry. Let's move ahead. Let's see what next we are going to see. Okay, now I'm going to remove this. And let's make this paragraph look something like this. Now understand what I'm going to do, okay? I'll keep the class also, okay? But I'm going to actually comment this part because that's a very big paragraph. I don't need it right now. Whenever I'll need a big paragraph, I'll copy it from here, right? Now inside this P, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just write this image gives you an idea of WFH setup. Okay. Now listen what I'm trying to say here. This is a paragraph we all know, and I want to include an image here. Okay. I just want to include an image here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use IMG, right? Even you can use it directly. I'm going to just write it, right? Image src, and also I'm going to use here the src file. Which file do I want? So I think I have the images slash pic1.jpg. That is what the image I have, right? So I'm going to use this image, okay, in here, right? Now if I save this, you can see what is happening. You're getting this image, right? And just after the image you're getting gives you an idea of work from home setup, right? The same way how I wanted it is coming, but I wanted to be in a line, right? So I wanted to make my image a little bit you know, shorter. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give a width to it. So let's say the width which I'm giving here is 12, and I'm also giving a height to it. Let's say I'm giving 12. Let's increase it. Let's give 15. Okay, cool. And let's save this. So now you can see what is happening. The image is there, but it's really very small. I don't know if you can see that. The image is very, very small, right? And that's what I wanted. That's what I actually wanted, right? I wanted one image with the text. If you want, we can increase this to 22 so that it looks somewhat appropriate. Fine. Oh, why I have reloaded its server. Fine. This is how it is looking, right? Now understand what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a class here. Okay. And to this class, I'm just going to give a name. Let's say X. Okay. Now to this X, I'm going to give something. So dot X, right? And I'm going to use some properties here. Okay. So this is what is called as vertical align. Okay. And in vertical align, let's say that I'm giving baseline. So baseline is basically the default one, right? So let's see what is happening. Basically baseline is that image should be coming with the text. So from where the text is there, the image is also in the same line. That's what is baseline. And it's normally the default one. That's why you can't see any changes. But let's say that I'm copying this and I'm pasting it again. Let's say 5 times because I have 5 properties. Okay, 5 times I've given it. And these classes, I'll just change its name. XYZ AB. Okay. Now the same thing, I'm going to give it to Y. But this time the vertical align, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it here text top. So this text top and this text bottom. So I'm going to give this as text top, and to the Z, right? To the Z, I'm going to give here text bottom. Cool. Let's save this. Let's go ahead and look what is happening. So you can see here, do not follow. One second. I will remove this itself because it's really very annoying. Let's remove this. Okay. So can you see any changes here? I don't know if you can observe the changes. So you can see here, when I'm writing baseline, the output is something different. When I'm writing Y, when I'm writing Z, the output is something different. Can you see? So this is your baseline, this is your top, and this is your bottom. And all of them are different. All of them are different. They're slight different. If I increase the image, maybe that time you can be able to see, but you can see with comparing with G. If you look at G here, it's exactly in the center. But when you look at G here, the picture is exactly in the bottom. And if you look at G here, again, the text bottom is something like baseline. But then also it's very different. You can see when I'm selecting, there's a space here. When I'm selecting, there's no space here left. So baseline is the mid part. Text bottom is the bottom part. Text top is the top part. Okay. Maybe you will understand when I will make this height and width a little bit small. I could have done it by using control, but that's fine. It was less. Can you see the changes now? You can see this is the baseline in the same midline with the text. This is top and this is bottom. You can see the difference clearly, right? This is what is your vertical alignment. So you want to see there's something called as text align. So when you do text align, you can move left, right, center, justify. Then there is vertical align, which is mostly used in text also, but is also used in images. So we have baseline, we have text top, we have text bottom, we have sub and super. So we are going to also see sub and super. Sub and super is mostly like text top and text bottom, but let me show you. I'm applying it to the same Y and Z. Okay, there's no much change. Okay, there's just that super is going above, sub is going down, just like text top and text bottom. So it's the same thing. Okay, now this is what is your vertical alignment. I hope you have understood how we can use this. Okay, this was what was your vertical alignment. Now let's move ahead. Let's move ahead to text decoration, and let's understand what is text decoration. I'm going to comment this. Also, I'm going to comment this because text decoration is really very simple thing. So I don't want to make it complicated for you. So I'm just writing a paragraph. My name is Ritwik Raj, and that will be, I think, enough to explain text decoration. Now see, what is text decoration? Text decoration is basically when you want to decorate your text. Okay, so let's say that I am giving a style and I'm giving here text decoration, right? You have so many values here, right? You have here line through, none, overline, many things are there, right? So let's say that I want here it as underline, right? So if I save this and if I go to my page, the text which I have written, text decoration underline, it's underline. If I say here overline, so then obviously it will be above, the line will be above, right? And then the next one is line through. The line through will actually cut it down, just like del tag. It'll do just like del tag. I hope you remember del tag, delete, right? That's what is a line through. Let's see what else do we have in this. Okay, so in the text decoration we have so many things here. Let's see what dotted does. If I save this, now these are deprecated values. Okay, you can see whatever I have explained you, like the underline, overline, and line through, those are working, right? So when you are doing like this, let's say when you're writing this, right, you hit enter and you can see these values. Now do not think that these all values are actually for text decoration. The only value which is there for text decoration is 4: underline, overline, line through, and none. So when you give none, what happens? Nothing will happen. So none is by default. This is by default. Okay, that's what is a text decoration. Okay, let's do one more thing. So after text decoration, we have text transformation. So we are going to see how text transformation works. So I'm going to put here P. I'm going to put here. I'm glad that you guys are learning with me. Okay, and to this I'm going to put here style again, and to this I'm going to give text transformation, right? Now see, again it is showing me some of the values. The first 4 values are its values: capitalize, lowercase, none, and uppercase. None will be default, so let's understand what is uppercase. I hope you must have understood it already. It's gonna change my text into all uppercase. Lowercase will change everything to lowercase, because it's already, you can see only the I letter is there, which is I have written as uppercase. So that will also change to lowercase. Now, but what is capitalize? That's a unique thing. That's something which is different, right? So let's understand what is capitalize. Capitalize is that every word first letter will be capital. So every word first letter is capital. Okay, that's what is your capitalize. Fine. So how many values are there in text transform? We have 4 values. Now, whatever we have learned till now, let's repeat it. Okay, let's understand whatever you have learned. So we have learned about text align, and we have understood there are 4 values for this. We have understood that it is left, it's right, it's center, it's justify. There is one more which is inherit, but we don't actually use it much more. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. The next one is we have understood the direction, and the direction we can give some values: LTR, left to right, or RTL, right? Something like this. I hope. Any questions, any doubt, please do let me know. I hope you guys are understanding, whoever is watching this session. Okay. And if you have any questions, please do let me know. Okay. I'm just creating a notebook for you so that you can write everything in one place. Direction we have seen. We have also seen something else. We have seen about BDI, right? We have seen about BDI, right? One second. Okay, leave. So there was BDI override. Okay, this one. And then what else we have learned? One second. Yeah. So what else we have learned? We have learned about text decoration. In text decoration, what all values do we give? We give around 4 values. First is none, which is by default. Then we have underline, we have overline, and we have line through. Make sure that you're using the dash here, right? Dash is important here. If you're not putting the dash here, many of the times freshers do forget that. So please put it. Text, what next? Transform. Okay, we have understood transform, and in text transform we have also seen some of the things like uppercase, lowercase, capitalize, and none. Okay, one more thing we have understood, which was this vertical align. So for vertical align also we were having some of the values, and those were actually baseline, sub, super, and top and bottom, right? Text top and text bottom. So these were the things which we have learned till now. Okay, let me comment this so that you can have a note of it. What next? What next we are going to see? So we have understood the text transform till now, and now the next one is text space. Okay, so we're going to understand what is text space, but for that what we have to do, we have to put some things. So we will do it. Once again, let me. Any questions, guys? Call your friends, say that this live session is going on, and tell them that I hope everything is fine. You guys are understanding everything, right? I hope I'm not going very fast, and I hope I'm not very quick. So do let me know if you want to do some changes in the session, and I'll do that, right? So let's go ahead. Let's move into the text spacing. Okay, so there are a lot of space which we need to give in our codes. So let's understand how we can do that. So let's say that I have this paragraph itself. Okay, I have this paragraph, complete paragraph. I have it here in my paragraph, right? Now what I want is, if I save this, you can see the paragraph is starting again from here, right? But I don't want to start it from here. I wanted to start it from after some space. That means I want to give some text indentation. Okay, so I'll use text indentation here, and I'll give somewhat about 50 pixel. Okay, go to save this, and you can see what is happening. So there's a space which is coming here, right? This space is nothing but your text indent. You want to give an indent to the text, and that's what it is doing for you. Okay, so that's what is your text indent, right? Now let's say that to this, what I want is letter spacing. What is letter spacing? Letter spacing means for each of the letters which is there in the paragraph, I want some space on those letters. So let's say that if I'm writing 5 pixel and I save this, can you see every letter is having some space, and it looks quite cool, right? So you have given every letter some space. This is space, this is space, right? That's what is letter spacing. Let's say that I'm giving here a less value. Let's say 1 pixel. So have a look. This is how it looks. Okay. Let's say that I'm giving here a negative value. Let's say -2. So it's overlapping. Well, you can't understand anything, but many a times in web pages you can see that this kind of presentation is there, right? This is used in creativity, for creativity also, but normally we don't use this. So yeah, that is what is your letter spacing. -1 will look like this. Okay, so it's just to give you a cool feature, make the web page attractive, make it beautiful. That's why we use letter spacing. Okay, so we have understood text indent, we have understood letter spacing, and now let's move ahead and let's understand line height. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give here 0 pixel itself because I want to keep it normal so that you can understand what this line height is doing actually. So I'm going to give line height, and to the line height, I'm going to give some values. So let's say if I'm giving here 0.7, okay, let's save. Can you see the height of the line? It's now compressed, right? So whereas it was covering the paragraph till here, now it is covering only till here. It's compressed, right? If I increase this value, let's say that 0.7, I'm increasing it to 1.7. So the space will be much more. The line height is much more. Okay, that's how people can give can give any kind of spaces, any kind of spacing to the paragraphs. That's how they do it, right? So line height is that. Okay, I hope you understood this. Let's move to the next one, which is basically the word spacing. So what I'm going to do, I'll keep the line height. No, I won't keep the line height because you will get confused because of this. 1 second. Let me give you a 0 itself. Oh, sorry. 0 will obviously, yeah. So this is the normal one. Okay, I've given 1. Now I'm going to use here word spacing. So let's understand what is word spacing. Now word spacing, what it will do is every word will have some space. Remember letter spacing? It was giving space to each of the letters. So word spacing will give each of the space to the words. Okay. So here what I'm going to give is, I'm going to give here, let's say 10 pixel. Okay. I'm gonna save this. You can see every word is now separate. It's having a space for each of the words, right? That's what is word spacing. Okay. I hope you don't have any any doubt in this. If no, then let's move to the next one. This is word spacing. Now see, I've written a lot of styles in this internal inline, right? So should we do it in internal? Yes, we have to. Okay, we have to move these things to our internal. Okay, because now it's looking messy. Okay, but yeah, so these are the things which we have learned. So let me put it inside the paragraph itself and not here. So I'm going to give it to all the paragraphs. So I'm going to just write here P. I'm going to paste this. And I just have to make it separate. So I'm just going to hit enter. Okay. Now understand what I'm going to do. Okay. So these things are happening. Indentation is also there for all of them, all the paragraphs, because all were the paragraphs. Now understand what I'm doing. The last thing which I'm doing here is I'm doing white space. Okay. So what is white space? I hope there's no comment till now. Guys, please, if you have any questions, if you're understanding, then give a thumbs up. I'll just, understand that you guys are understanding each and everything. Let's understand what is white space. Okay. So here, right now you can see what is happening. All the paragraphs are coming however we want it, right? In the same manner. If I increase this, the paragraph will increase, right? So that's what is happening here, correct? Now suppose that I give here white space, and in white space what I'm going to give no wrap. So what's going to happen? Have a look. Can you see what is happening? All the paragraph is gone. It's actually not gone. It's actually not wrapping it. By default, it's gonna wrap. So everything is coming so that I can, or user can see it. It's visible. But when I did no wrap, it's not wrapped. The paragraph is now completely written. So you have to drag, you have to do like this. Right? That is what is no wrap. So by default, it's wrapped. And that's a good thing. It should be wrapped. Suppose you want people or you want the audience to scroll right? Scroll the paragraph and then read. Then you can use no wrap. So this is also one of the feature. So what all things we have understood after which one? After text transform, we have understood these things. Okay. So text indent, and in all of those things you can see that we are giving values. There is no particular property for it. We are giving values to it, right? And all those values differ from how much you want to give. So 0 pixel, for how many, those all things differ. Okay. So these were the things which we have learned now. Now also understand, if I want to give word spacing, right, you can see what will happen. So let's say that I'm using here spacing. Okay. You can see what is it showing me. You can see here. You can see what is it showing me. Percentage, CH, CM, EM, EX, FR, IN, MM, PC, PT, PX, REM, VH, Vmax, VW. What are these things? Now understand it in this manner, that when we are human being, when we have to, measure something, we have centimeter, millimeter, meter. There are a lot of things, feet, foot, inch. There are a lot of ways how we can measure things, right? Similarly, in our web page, we have something how we can measure things. Okay. And that's what it is this. So basically it is now showing me, right? So it is showing me percentage, CH, CM, EM, everything. Now, if you look at my program, when I am writing codes, right, I'm using mostly this one, which is PX, pixel, because I am very much comfortable with PX. Okay. Let's say that I'm using here 10 PX, right? So I have an understanding how much this 10 PX is. Okay. If I write here, let's say 10 percentage. Okay. 10 percentage. If I save this, can you see what is happening? Now it has changed. The space is not that much. No, it's not that much how much was pixel, right? Let's say that I'm writing here EM. Again, it got changed. You can see the space is now much more bigger, right? So it doesn't depend on the number, but it depends on what particular unit space you are giving. This is called as unit. Okay. This is what is called as CSS units. So we have several units which we use. Now you will ask me, sir, which one to use? Which one is good to use? It all depends on you. How? By practice. See, I know how much is 250 pixels. I know how much is 200 pixels because from a long time I'm using pixels. Okay. I'm not using EM much. I've used EM, but I can see that अरे 10 EM में ही इतना बड़ा हो जा रहा है, तो मैं इसको क्यों यूज करूं? मैं इसको उस जगह यूज करूंगा जहां पे मुझे बड़ा स्पेस चाहिए और कम नंबर चाहिए. Then you have to use EM. Okay. Let's say there are some more. There is this VH and VW. VH is viewport height. Okay. That's another kind of measurement. So if I do this, you can see again it's changing. Viewport height मुझे इतना दे रहा है. So every unit is having different methods or formulas. Now, if you go and Google search it, you will see that 1 EM is equal to 1 by 10th of pixel. There are some formulas, but you do not have to remember that. Okay. अब बस ये करो ना कि आप हार्ड वर्क मत करो, आप स्मार्ट वर्क करो. मैंने क्या स्मार्ट वर्क किया? मैंने अपने आप में ठान लिया कि मैं कोई दो ही I'll use only 2 units in my life. I'll use either PX or either percentage. ठीक है. मैक्सिमम 3 EM. सो बस यही 3 यूज करना है, बाकी यूज करेंगे ही नहीं. सो दैट यू डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज. और आपको बस उन तीनों का आइडिया होना चाहिए. एनी विच वेज व्यूपोर्ट हाइट वही कर रहा है जो परसेंटेज कर रहा है. इट्स जस्ट दैट द नंबर्स आर डिफरेंट. इफ यू गिव 10 VH and 100%, that will be same. So you need to just understand the equation between those. ठीक है. बट इतना डीप जाने का जरूरत नहीं है, आपको फॉर्मूलाज याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप बस प्रैक्टिस करो, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. That's why I'm always using PX. Have you seen that? I'm always using PX so that you also get a habit of using PX. So do not get worried when somebody is asking you. किसी ने लिख दिया इंटरव्यूअर ने कि वहां पे 10 VH लिखा हुआ है. अब वो पूछ देगा कि ये VH क्या है. VH और परसेंटेज में क्या डिफरेंस है? So in that time you should know viewport height, viewport width, VW, Vmax, viewport max, viewport min, right? Those are some of the units. ठीक है, वो सब प्रैक्टिस से आएगा, रटने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, cool. So this was all about my white space and all the things. Let's understand what is text shadow. ठीक है, so I have already put one h1 here, right? So to this h1 I'm going to give something. So I'm going to give here text shadow. Okay, now understand how this text shadow works. Let's say that I'm giving here 2 pixels. Okay, so 1 second. So you can see here what is happening. There's a shadow to my heading, right? If I increase my size, you'll be able to see there's a shadow here, right? That's the text shadow. Okay, that's the text shadow which we are giving. Now suppose that this text shadow which is coming, which is, you know, in the back, that's shadow, right? Shadows are always in the back, in the behind. I want to give it a color. So let's say that I'm giving here blue. I'm going to save this. So the shadow is in blue color, right? Now suppose that I want to add a blur effect to this. Okay, I want to add I don't want to make this color so much prominent. You can see the blue color is just visible like it's blue, right? I don't want to make that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a blur effect. So the third line is giving me a blur effect. Okay, so let's save this. Let's see. This is how it's lit, right? So it's a blur effect which we are giving. So like this, there are so many other examples which you can do, but right now let's understand only this much. When we will create some projects, then we'll understand some more things about text shadow. So one more in the list which we have understood, which is text shadow. Cool. So okay, now is the time that we should understand font, right? So let's understand what is there in the font for us. Any questions till now? Let's take a break, 1 minute of time. Put anything, whatever your doubts you have, and then we'll again begin. Okay, cool. So we are going to start with the font now. So I'm going to just comment these all things because we don't need these things now. So I'm going to just comment all of these. We'll just have one heading, right? And that also without any color and all. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some paragraphs here, and paragraphs I'm just going to write some statement. My name is Ritwik, because I want to just show you how these font styles and font size can change. So let me just do that. Okay, to all these three I'm going to give different IDs. So let's say I'm going to give here A. Let's say that I'm giving here it as B, and let's say that to this one I'm going to give here as C. Fine, all these three paragraphs, and now I'm going to go to my style, and I'm going to give here ID now, so it should be hash A. Okay, to hash A, what I'm going to give now, understand that there is something called as font family, right? Now in font family you can see so many options you are getting, right? You can choose any of the options from here. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the options which are most famous ones. So times cinnamon, times serif. Then next one, options you are getting already, right? So there'll be no problem, you can choose from that. So I'm going to use here, let's say this one. You can choose any. I'm just showing you some of the things so that I can make a comparison for you. Font family. Let's say I'm choosing this one. Okay, let's save this. Let's go back, and you can see what is happening. So all the three paragraphs have different font styles, right? Now understand what is the difference here. If you look closely, right? If you look closely, can you see in this one, in these letters, above there is an underline. In all the letters above there is an underline. A very small underline is there, right? Can you see this underline here, right? But in this one it's not there, right? In this one it's there. Now understand what is that. When you write serif, right? When you write serif means that there should be that underline, that the corners should be having some stretch. But when you're writing sans serif, then it's not there. It's the normal way. Okay. So it depends on how you're writing. See, in this one also we have that. And that is what is monospace. Okay. So it clearly defines how different all these three texts are, right? So you can use any of that. You should be knowing which one you are using. Let me show you some more options. So let's say that I'm using font family and I'm using the second one. Again, you can see here it's sans serif. So it should be the normal one. It should be looking like a normal. Can you see? Is it normal? Is there any underline or the stretch? No, right? So serif and sans serif is that. One more I want to show you, which is cursive. Okay. So what cursive will do? Cursive will just give you, this is not that cursive. Do not get confused. This is not that cursive. So you can see this is how it looks like. And many of the times in many web pages, you must have seen this kind of writing. This is the cursive writing. It's not actually cursive. The name is cursive. The font name is cursive. Okay. Fine. Any doubts still here? If no, then let's move ahead. Let's move to our font size. So what I'm going to do in this browser, I'm going to bring it to 100%. Okay. Because this is the normal way how your text will be seen. And to this particular B, see, it's a paragraph, right? It's not a heading. It's just a paragraph. If I want to increase the size of that paragraph, I'm going to use here font size. Now you have a lot of free options here. You can use large, larger, medium, small, whatever you want to use, you can use. And you can see that this is a little bit much bigger, right? And if you use larger, okay, it's much bigger. But suppose you don't want to use any of this and you want to make it much more bigger. So directly write the value. I know how much is 50 pixel. So I've used it. But you can use percentage also. Let me show you some difference. 50% is only this much. Can you see how much small is it? You must be thinking 50%, but it's not. It's very small. So that's why pixel make difference. EM. You can't write font. You can't write size in EM. Okay. Let's have pixel. That's why I say most of the time, please use pixel itself. This is what is here. Pixel. Okay. EM will be there. It must be very big. That's why it is not showing you. EM is very big, right? I told you EMs are very big. You can see this somewhere. It will be there. Yeah. See. Right? So that's what it is. Font size. Now let's move ahead. Let's write something else. Let's say font weight. What is font weight? See, this is weight like bold, bolder. You can use such kind of things. So I'm going to use bold and this particular paragraph will become bold. Cool. You can make it bolder. There is no much difference, but you can see that it will be much more darker. That's it. There's not much more difference. Okay. And you can give some values also. So let's say that I'm giving here 100 pixel. So this is what is the 100 pixel kind of bold. It happens that sometimes you don't want to make it much bold. And when you want to make it very bold, so let's say that I'm putting 500 pixels. I think it will not take that much value. Let's see what are the options we are getting here. So we don't have to write px, we have to just write simply. This is what is 500. If I increase this to 1000, this is what is your 1000. So here we don't write px. Okay. You can directly give the font weight value. What is next? Font variant. Font variant is basically to give small caps. So if you use small caps in font variant, you can see this is what is small caps. Everything will be uppercase, but still it's small capital. So all the first letter, the first word of the sentence will be in capital, but other letters will be in small caps. This is what is small caps. Okay. So font variant, we have understood these four now. That's what is all about your font now. Okay, so let's write it here. Also we will write the values. We will write which particular value, which particular property gives us. Okay, so here you have many values to write. You can use any, but the most prominent ones which you should know is sans serif, serif, cursive, Arial, Helvetica. These are the most common ones which you should know. Okay, font size, you can give any value. So I'm just writing here value. It can be of any particular measurement, any unit. And font weight should be the value, but you should use it without units. This can be value. With value we also write it as there were some options for font size, right? Yeah, large, medium, these all are the values for that. Okay, cool. So you have some values for this. So I'm just going to write hard coded. Those are called as hard coded. I'm just putting a name. These also have hard coded, which is just two, bold and bolder. Font variant is only having small caps, otherwise none. Okay, so these two you can use here. Here you have no wrap. Here you have 10 pixel. You can give the value. Also you can give your value. Here also value, and text indent is also value. So these are the things which we have learned today. Any doubt in any of these? There are more properties for font. There are more properties for text, but it's not very important to know those, because once you will do the project, by doing the project you will understand those properties. But these are the most common ones. These can be asked in your interview, right? I hope you have understood about the opacity and the alpha in our RGB. That also comes here. Okay, so these are some of the properties which we have learned. Any doubt till here? Anything, please let me know. If no, then I think we have covered all the text and font styles till here, right? If no doubts, then please give me a thumbs up if you have understood everything. And also help me bringing more audience. Please bring more audience so that they can also understand this session is going on, and the sessions are going really well. They should also get that free benefit, right? So tell them to join and tell them to learn. At least some knowledge they will get by understanding these languages. Already we have written a long code here, right? So we are very close to our project so that we can understand how this project works. Fine. You can make a note of it or take a screenshot of this particular thing and use it, practice it. I'll also take some break. Okay, someday maybe my sessions won't happen. Maybe I'll have some work and I will postpone my sessions. That day, do not think that, hey, Ritwik sir has not come, let's not do it. Don't do it. Please go ahead and practice. I'm giving time for you to practice, so do that. Fine. So this was all about today's session, and I hope you have understood this. Be ready for the project tomorrow. We are coming up with project tomorrow at 9:15 p.m. So we are going to do the project, and also we are going to understand some more things of CSS, which is pseudo classes, border, padding, and margin. So at 8 p.m. I'm going to explain you pseudo classes, border, padding, and margin. And by 9:15 class, I'm going to tell you about one of the project. The project will be very simpler. Do not expect something very big because we are still in the starting phase. So I want to make it easy. So we will have a very simple project, but yet very efficient. And also please be ready with JavaScript. However, JavaScript, till now, keep that in your mind, because tomorrow in the project we will be using JavaScript as well, right? Cool. Tomorrow in JavaScript at 4 p.m. we'll be covering loops. So make sure that you are joining that session and you're understanding how loop is working. Cool. So I'll meet you really soon, and thank you so much for joining the live session, and I hope you guys have understood this. Bye bye. Good night. Take care.